What's up, everybody? Welcome to Batman Unmasked, your reaction show for Batman, the Telltale series. I'm your host, Greg Miller from KindaFunny.com, and before we go any further, this show is going to spoil the events of Batman Episode 3. So if you haven't played that, don't watch this. This will continue to exist on the internet until you're ready. Let's meet the panel. Nicole.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
Lead writer on this episode, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Who's your favorite character to write?
There's two of us sitting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say,
Choose wisely.
if it's not one of us, don't say
Well,
it.
remember.
Keep it to
The
yourself.
people who are in the Children of Arkham.
No, she got
Spoken like a writer.
She got that really, really
with
well.
the misleading, yes.
Jason,
Hello.
you're the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot.
You just ruined it for everybody.
No, everybody knows. Well, you don't have the accent. I expect you to come out like, 'cause, you
What?
know.
You mean like, hello, ladies and gents?
There's the one. That's the
Batman!
See, usually Telltale hires these hacks who just talk.
Yes.
And like, this is do a voice, and they just do their voice, and then they get hired.
And that's
then
it.
That's
it's,
it.
It's like
You-
a dog and pony show.
You tried. I like that.
I did. I made an effort.
I'm glad. And hey,
Hey,
Aaron, how are you?
I'm good, how are
You're
you?
Vicky Vale, right?
I am.
Do that voice.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wow! Bravo! Bravo!
Now
You deserve a mic clink for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That was brilliance. Sheer brilliance. Yes, let's sip.
let's start at the top.
I've wet myself.
Did you really just get it all
I
over
did.
yourself?
I just.
Come on.
I'm full.
This is 1 minute.
One day to wear light pants. The one day I choose.
But nobody knows what's going on underneath
No,
here.
they don't.
So it's
and that's a
fine.
good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
Aaron,
Yeah.
let's start with at the top. You are a bitch. In episode 1, I chose you over Jim Gordon. I gave
know.
you the evidence.
I know.
End of episode 3, here you are, stab me in the hand.
How's that feel?
Lady of, Lady
How's
Arkham.
that?
You said that you wanted to marry Vicky.
Ooh.
In a previous episode, one of these guys, you were like, I'm gonna marry Vicky, and the whole time I was just like, sucker.
Well, as someone who has been divorced before, not the first time I've been played. No, yeah, I didn't. That was the thing when the fight happened in this episode with who will become Lady Arkham. We'll find
Right.
out. Actually get a name for it. I'm racking my brain. I'm like, is this an original character? Who is this? Who's underneath the mask?
Yeah.
And then at the end, when you stabbed me, I was like, oh well, she's been possessed too. Nope, she's just in charge of the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Oh
Yeah.
man, talk about a
No, it's
lead
great.
anvil dropping.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
How long did you know from episode 1 that was the character arc?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, when I auditioned, I didn't. And then I showed up, and we started recording. They're like, oh, by the way, you're gonna turn on him. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, because traditionally she's been either an ally or a romantic interest, and everyone got really comfy with that. Even though
Yeah.
I feel like Telltale is like, we're gonna change things up. We're gonna people who are normally one thing might not be that, and everyone's like, okay. But no one seemed to suspect that Vicky Vale would.
No, I mean, that's what works so well with what you guys are doing with the series, I think, is the fact that you started us in a very safe spot that felt like Batman, and then slowly we started going, and even at the end of episode 1, when it was like, tell me everything, I thought for sure Alfred was going to have some story about the photo, and it's like, no, they just suck. The Waynes sucked, it turns out.
Your parents are terrible people.
Yeah. So have you guys, talk to me about, you guys switch off who's going to be lead writer and how it all works together, right? For you coming in as lead writer on episode 3, Nicole, what does that entail? How does that work?
It's basically like we're working with the designer, and shout out to Emily Garrison, who's my lead designer on
What up,
episode
Emily
3.
Garrison?
Yes. We sit down and we know where the plot is going, but we have to do more detailed story outlines for each episode, and then we are responsible for getting all the content finished for each episode. So we write and design the whole thing, and we have to sync up with other episodes and make sure that our cliffhangers are lining up with where they want to start.
So then, why would you do that? Why would you do this? I was
It
going to marry her.
predestined. Well, she played you, man.
I know.
Oh,
God. At least I've always known where I
played
stood
it.
with you.
that's
You know
right.
what I mean, Jason?
Well, I'm going to touch you back because
Please.
that felt really good.
That's what we're pleased.
The thing about Oswald in this universe is he's so different from anything else you ever get to see in DC. And he's so grounded in all of the backstory and all of the reasons for him to be the way he is.
Yeah.
That in episode 3, when all of a sudden I'm reading the script and I'm like, I what? I walk in to take over Wayne Enterprises and I'm pretending to be posh? I'm like, yes, this is so great. I mean, the multi-dimensional nature of his character is so thrilling. And thank you so much for writing that stuff because every time I read it, I'm just salivating when you show up and go, oh, Bruce, that's why we can't have nice things. You know, he's just such a piece of garbage. You know? but yet, because you know he was betrayed by the Waynes, and you actually care for him.
Yeah.
You've managed that, right, as a writer, to make a lovable person you hate. That's such a challenge to do, and it's achieved, I believe.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what they've done, I feel like, with both of your characters,
Yeah.
right? In the way that, we talked about it before we came on, right? Penguin's always this crime boss, whatever. Even
Yeah.
Batman Returns plays around with the bit where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
but he's got flippers and he's like this monster.
Which is how I do my voiceover, actually. I have them like bind it up, and I'm like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." Okay, I'm ready to go.
But to have it come out this time where it is, you know, the Waynes are at the root of everything that went wrong for the Cobblepots. So not only does it make sense I feel sorry for Penguin, I now understand why his relationship with Bruce is fractured and all these different things.
And it's grounded in that.
Yeah.
So that everything else, you know, that you see him doing when he's on stage, you know, gesturing with guns and shooting people, for a second you realize that, oh man, but for those things that the Waynes did to him, he wouldn't be this guy. And that kind of, you know, consequence, regret situation is something that Telltale does very well. They let you know, kind of, even with the people you don't get to make the choices with, how those things impact life in the story.
Yeah. And same thing for you, Aaron, with, I mean, Vicky Vale and the fact that you broached it before, but I mean, I think for most of the time, she is window dressing in a Batman story. You know what I mean? And well, I want to talk about now what it's like to have those reins off, but I actually have that clip of you stabbing Bruce.
Seriously?
And breaking my heart.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Look, it's like you knew. You're doing these transitions.
I am.
You should just host a show from now on.
No.
Okay.
No. I'll co-host.
Okay.
But I never. You're tall, and I'm short. It wouldn't work.
You're right, it wouldn't work. Let's see the clip.
Nice statement. The press seemed to eat it up.
I did what I felt was right.
Yeah, well, someone has to. I just didn't think it'd be you. Dropped your pen.
That's not.
You feel that? That's the drug taking hold of you. Don't fight it.
You're with the children of Arkham.
No, I am the children of Arkham. I think it's time you knew my real name. I am Lady Arkham. And you already know the Penguin. Look at him up there, taking everything that should belong to you. Mocking you, the smug, insignificant bastard. It would be so easy to get rid of him. Who else will deliver justice?
So what is that like, to get to flip that switch? To
Oh,
go from...
it felt so good.
Yeah.
Because throughout, especially episode 3, that's when we really started to inject a little bit of Lady Arkham in your interactions with Vicky. Like it slips a couple times, and when you get to meet with her in the park, like there are some times where she gets a little bit sharper with you, or like she sounds like she really believes in the Children of Arkham's message. And that was just like getting so close, and finally like, okay, this is just, you go full out. And I was like, yes, so exciting. And then getting to hear like the Lady Arkham voice underneath that is very exciting too.
And so for you, when you're doing episodes 1 and 2, are you, when you're doing your Vicky Vale voice and you're very effervescent, you're very like out there for the story kind of thing, are you trying to put a tinge of what Lady Arkham would become, or an underlying current, or are you trying to play it like, it's weird to think of an actor playing a character who's acting a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation, and it depends on your choices. Like, it's different if you've been very nice to Vicky the whole time, if you've been very friendly and you've helped her out and you've given her information. And it's different if you've been rude and you've been like, stop talking to me, you're a nuisance. You might get a little bit more of Lady Arkham in that scenario, which is, it's cool. So yeah, there's the multi-layers of Vicky, and then there's also just the way that Telltale games are made. There's all those different branches.
Is that fun to write, or is that totally complicated?
It's complicated but fun. Like I was talking to Aaron earlier, I remember when we were recording that scene in particular, because it's both Vicky Vale, who is Lady Arkham, but we don't know it yet. Batman, who is Bruce Wayne, Vicky doesn't know it yet. And there's so many nuances to the way that they need to talk to each other and the information that they know and that the other person knows that they know. But it was really fun getting to see Vicky finally become who we knew she was going to become.
But then now you go the opposite way. Your character flips the switch and has to start pretending to be a Bruce Wayne kind of character.
Right, to be, you know, a bit of a corporate marauder, but nice in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And like offended that, you know, Bruce is angry with him and like, oh, you've hurt me, dear. I mean, you've got a temper. Like, whoa. To have gone from a guy who's on stage shooting people
Yeah.
to a complete pretender to the throne and have it be legitimate. Like, the moment you see him, he's walked in and it's done. I love the scene where he's like, Bruce has to collect his things in front of Oz. And Oz is like, you know, picking up the picture and the whole thing. And it was just so fun. The way you guys wrote that scene, it was heartbreaking for me to just think of Bruce's position in that moment, and then delicious as an actor to just hop along poking him in the face, you know.
See, I hated that scene because like
Yeah?
I try to be a judicious Bruce Wayne, right?
He is
What was that word?
a Bruce Wayne who knows jujitsu.
Exactly. I try to be a good guy.
Okay.
And so when I'm doing the Bruce Wayne stuff, I'm playing nice. I'm doing the nice
Yeah.
things. When we get introduced to Oz the first time in the park, I'm talking to him as if I'm not thinking he's going to become the Penguin.
Yeah, 'cause
And
you
even
wanna
af-
see that.
And even after he becomes the Penguin, I'm talking in the office. I'm like, I'm going to play it cool. I'm not going to get emotional about this. But then you're just such a dick, and you break my watch is in there, and you break the watch.
I'm sorry, Bruce.
No, you're being patronizing right now. You weren't sorry. We did it on purpose.
So sorry, Greg. Dude, that's why you can't have.
And I was in my head. Then I started playing around like, why is he? I understand. He knows those aren't my pants.
Oh, so sorry.
No,
Greg.
please. Don't make me pay for that mug if you break it.
That's why you can't have nice things. All right.
Well, I think that's what makes it so great, though, is like the character of Oz in this game. Like, you love to hate him, and he's just charming. And so even when
Yeah.
he's being a dick to you, you're just like, I like it, but I hate it at the same time. Like, it's fun.
Thank God you're nothing like that in real life.
Yeah, at all. I mean,
Yeah.
you're being serious, right?
You brought me this hat.
Yeah, I did.
Let's hug it out. Let's hug it out.
I think it even goes kind of with the jacket you picked today.
Oh, you mean this jacket available at kindafunny.com/store?
Bam! That's what we call a setup, man.
Got my Joker makeup.
did
Yeah,
you do?
whoa! Now I got makeup on me, and people are gonna
Maybe
wonder where
you know
I've
what?
been.
You probably just got to take that shirt off.
That's right now.
Did you hug Oz in the
Do a
game?
little cobble hot.
No, I didn't hug him in the game. How do you feel about that? The cobble hot that is taking the internet by storm.
I'm gonna pretend like I hate it. I would it'd be so disingenuous for me to say anything more than just anything with hot after it. I'll take that. I think it's amazing that a character who most people have just abject, gross reactions to in previous
Sure,
incarnations can be considered that. I mean, that's great that Telltale can take that character and all of a sudden make him attractive in, people would consider even calling him cobble hot. It would never have happened in the past.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, and on a personal level, very gratifying.
Well, they based the entire look on you. So,
Yeah, they did.
yeah.
Actually, I don't have my head shaved on the side anymore, but it's still okay.
But that's the thing that like I find the most interesting about this season, right? Is the fact that at the end of every episode, I find more excited for the next than I was when I went into this one. I was already excited for this. I was excited for episode 1, but episode 1
And that's
ends.
hard. Tell us all about how you did that.
You all by yourself.
It's all
No,
your
it's
fault.
not
No one
all
else
me.
helped you.
It's your
Don't look into the crowd. None of these people had anything to do with
they
it.
don't. They weren't there.
No, like everyone's been working really hard to kind of have this new, fresh take on Batman and make sure that the characters feel genuine and they're
Yeah.
interesting to talk to. And so we've all just been pushing it and trying to make sure we don't rest on what people know about Batman.
Yeah.
To try and keep you excited to play the next one.
Was any of Oswald's character choices informed by like the character design? I mean, the mask is so original and different. I mean, what phase does that happen versus some of the writing choices? Like, are you informed by that as a creative
They're
person?
kind of happening at the same time. Like I remember with the mask, we were seeing. I didn't work on episode 2, but they were kind of writing it along with getting
Yeah.
the art in. And art has been taking a lot of great liberties with making the character their own. Like they
Yes.
didn't want to do the typical Penguin. They wanted to make it a new.
And
Telltale
thank goodness for
Penguin.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been cast.
You didn't want to be the round guy.
I did. I want you to be round and fat. The penguin. No, I don't think so. Just don't know if that would work.
When you come in for the character, though, since it is a different one, you come into audition. What is the audition like for that?
Actually, yeah, I remember the first time I auditioned for this. It was out of my home studio, and they had a picture of him. Thankfully, because the dialogue could be construed as, you know, they had some dialogue about everyone on the floor now, you know, and just your valuables, ladies and gents. And they said that a little bit about where they wanted the accent to kind of be. But when I saw the picture and he was this young, attractive, a little bit rough guy, I thought, oh wow, this is amazing. This is so helpful and informing to where you want this to be, because they kind of want him to be able to be liked. That's a different, you have to honor that. If you see that kind of visually, now you have to say, okay, well, he's not gross. He's somebody that someone could fall in love with. If he weren't a psycho, he's somebody that you want to love to hate, and it informs the read, because you have to honor that. And doing an accent is always terrifying, because you never know. There's people from the UK and we're gonna play this game, and you're like sweating bullets. You're like, oh my gosh, are they gonna hate me?
Governor, this guy don't sound like a Stewie now.
I don't want to come out sounding like Dobby. You know? Please don't stab me. I want people to enjoy playing the game and not be taken out. You know what I mean? I want them to be in the story. And there was this dialogue originally written in the audition sides that kind of forgave some of that, because Bruce kind of says to him, well, you know, your accent's a bit muddled or all over the place. And Oswald says, yeah, well, you know, I've been around a bit since I've been gone.
Yeah.
So they kind of were thinking that it doesn't really have to be from a specific place, a specific town. It's that Oswald hasn't been able to latch on to anything since his family's been taken away from him. And he had to get as far away from Gotham as possible, and that's kind of where he ended up, and now he's back. And so it just kind of, you know, takes away all of that. Giving that freedom to be able to do that kind of took the sweat off of, you know, accent and regionalism.
Yeah. Well, it plays into the fact that like these villains are like constructs of events and consequences, and and how unbelievable it is what masks, the role of masks in this. You know, like everyone has a mask, but which one is it? You know, like what do they feel is their real face?
Right. Which one? Is Oswald more the Penguin, or is Oswald more Oz, Bruce's friend? Or
I just
is he
got
just
the
being
title of this show.
manipulated by Batman Unmasked Remasked?
I always thought it was just about Batman. It's about everybody.
Yeah.
Should have been asking questions a bit better about that every time. Aaron, a question for you though.
Yeah.
For you, how does auditioning or getting involved with this game work? Because you are one of the telltale players. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're, you know, Tales from the Borderlands, The Walking Dead. You're in these games. I always listen for your voice. Does that mean that like, do they just come to you now and beg you to be in it? Or do you come to them and beg them? Or do you just
No,
audition
that'd be
everybody
nice.
else?
That'd be real nice. We've always got a place for you, Aaron. It's like, great. No, I audition every time. Yeah, and this was particularly interesting, especially once I got cast and found out that she was like villainous, because this is my first telltale villain. You know, like the first time I've really, because I'm normally either like you know, the confidant or the sidekick, the friend, and now I get to pretend to be the sidekick and the friend, and then kind of ruin everything for everyone. And that was a lot of fun. And maybe it helped the fact they're like, oh, it's Erin Yvette. Oh, she's always, you know that your ally. Like, don't worry about her.
That's right. They've been playing it from the beginning.
I know. It's one long
They
con.
double played you, man.
I think it's
They
both
played you
that.
with a casting choice. That's some brutal right there.
I think it's both that and what you brought up before about Vicky Vale in canon is kind of always in this particular role, and so we lulled everyone into, it's Erin Yvette, I know who it is.
Yeah.
Like, and then turn it on.
And the fact that she's a reporter is a perfect cover, because she can pry into, she can ask all these questions and be really nosy, and you're just like, just stop being such a reporter. And it's like, oh no, she's getting real dirt on you. And it's really cool.
That's why she's everywhere.
She's always there, every time.
Right present.
Yeah. I want to talk more about this episode, less about these chuckleheads.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think a lot of people have been talking about, both in reviews and then just online, is the old Batman.
The romance.
The romance. That's what kids call it these days. Right. My apologies. Let's take a look at the scene, but then I want to talk all about it. Okay. Sure. All right.
I think the place has charm.
What's charming about it? The leak in the ceiling or the dirty underwear on the floor?
That's not what I meant.
I was hoping for something more than that.
Oh, doctor. I'll tell you
That
what.
cat's such a
Temperatures up in
creeper.
this room.
Right,
a
I
bit
know.
right
I mean,
now.
yeah. Oh my goodness
Somebody needs
gracious.
to turn on the air conditioner.
So was that another one you guys knew from the get-go you wanted to get to?
Yeah, even when we first started doing outlines, we knew we wanted to have this scene. So, and
Is this
luckily
why you
it
made
So
a Batman
thank you.
game?
This is
Why
why
make
we
a
wanted to do
Batman
it,
game
yeah.
so that people can sex up Catwoman?
Yeah.
Well,
Done.
it's so well done in the way of it wasn't gratuitous. It wasn't like over the top. It was super sexy, obviously, right? But it wasn't like TNA sexy. It wasn't. Now, for the record, I made her do it herself.
Yeah.
When she's like, gonna help me with this thing? I'm like, no, I want to watch you.
But which is in character, kind of.
Totally,
right?
yeah.
I mean, Bruce is so laid back. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
he's like, you know,
Exactly,
Batman's a very
exactly.
low-key guy.
So then, what are the stats looking like on people who are going to? I assume most people end up.
I think, I don't know the exact stats, but I think most people
Yeah.
romance Catwoman.
Yeah.
Who are the poor losers who don't? What is going on?
People were able to remember Harvey in that moment.
I love that.
We all knew from the beginning they weren't gonna make it. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
I mean, I'm a villain, so I don't really, you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, Harvey. I'm sorry. Too bad, Harvey.
Well, no, for me, I mean, the seed of this was planted in episode 2 when we're behind the car and it popped up of, do you want to kiss her? It was one of those, whenever you read a Batman comic or you see a movie or whatever, you understand that like the writer or the author's implying that there's this connection, right? This unspoken bond between Catwoman and Batman. And that was the first time I ever felt it in terms of like, we just went through this amazing fight scene that was so well done and you get out and you're huffing and puffing and there's that moment, I'm like, yeah, I want to kiss her. And at no point was I like, oh right, but Harvey. And then afterwards she makes the reference, I'm like, yeah, but like, you're probably screwing him over. Like, I don't think this is really going anywhere. I'm sure I'm
Look,
doing
this
him
is
a
for
favor.
Harvey's good. This is exactly what you thought. This is totally for
Here's
my
saving
friend's
him.
good, okay?
we've
It's for
all
his
been
well-being.
He'll thank me in
A
2
lady
years.
like you and him, I just can't see it.
It's just not gonna work out. Yeah, yeah.
I need to
So-
take care of my friend.
So by the time we got there, it was a very interesting. There were no. I wasn't gonna think of Harvey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, could
Most people
Batman?
He had forgotten about him
Could
a long time.
Batman, the world's greatest detective, he can fight 30 guys at once. Could he maybe close the door quietly on his own? I'd like to think so. But apparently,
Like-
one Siamese cat can throw every bat plan.
Could you see him like, you know, Lucius, I need a piece of tech. Just something that closes a door.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because you know he doesn't need to do that on his own. He have
Alfred,
tech
there's
for
a cat
that.
at my foot. What do I do? Pick it up.
You know,
Just grab it
grab
by
it.
that and do that.
The cat is the
Skill
true
crane
villain
that
of the
sucker.
game.
Oh, that's really gonna be the Arkham
Vicky.
cat.
Yeah.
She's just gonna.
she's like McGonagall, like, whoa, across the stream. What the heck was that? All
So
of a sudden, she's Dame.
you knew you wanted to get there, but when you're actually there at the precipice, the game's about to come out. Are you concerned? You know what I mean? Like video games and sex, it's something we don't handle well necessarily.
Right. I mean, we were definitely nervous about it, and even when we first pitched this scene, we weren't sure how it was going to go over. We hadn't done this at Telltale yet, and like we were up really late sending snippets of it back and forth, going, "Is this okay? Is this too far? Are we going
Yeah.
like in a bad direction with this?" And so we were checking in constantly, and we made something that we felt really proud of. Like it was important to us that you got to open up with Selena before you. That conversation is really key to that, and making sure that you two have that connection and you feel like this is the person who knows who I really am and I know who she really is, and that's why you two are so close. And then we wanted to make sure, obviously, that we didn't go much farther than unzipping her cat suit and implying the rest. Because most often in video games, you get into that uncanny valley kind of
Right.
thing. So
You took it farther than I thought you guys were going to.
Yes.
When she straddled him and
Yes.
she's like, are you gonna do this? I thought I'd reach for it and I'd get slapped away.
Slapped away,
Because
yeah.
you guys didn't want to animate it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
lazy. But no, like I got to pull it down and then there.
I love it. Like Telltale hashtag lazy. Like what? No.
No, so it was, I thought it was really well done. And now we're,
Yeah.
see, my thing, this is where I'm at, right?
thinking about
Transition.
My whole thing was, I was more, Harvey, whatever. But I was like, what about Vicky Vale, though?
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
true.
Like, because she gets, the Vicky Vale character, again, traditionally, is the one anchored in the Bruce Wayne life and the life he should want and where he
Right.
should want to go, what Alfred wants for him. And then you turn out to stab me in the hand.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean they can't get together. I'm still hopeful.
that's true. Still 2 more episodes.
I don't know, under the influence of drugs or something. I mean, I don't know.
Sure.
It could all happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm open to anything. You put
Yeah,
the
it
hat
seemed
on,
like
you get
once
crazy.
people knew that they could start to woo Selena, they were like, I'm done with Vicky. It seemed pretty clear that people like had a choice.
That's so unfair.
Well, it's
No,
I mean, it's fine.
unfair.
I delighted in watching how people reacted to Vicky, and
I'm waiting for our romance.
I wasn't bummed that they weren't eager to like romance her. 'Cause
Workplace relationships don't go well. You guys work together.
No,
You know,
no.
you're her underling in the game. You can't. That can't be a couple.
But that's
plot
okay.
No.
She made a dude attack you.
Yeah, I'm a forgiving guy.
That's good to know.
For the scene though, in the way it all plays out in episode 3 for me, Harvey hadn't been burned. He wasn't Two-Face. He was just straight up Harvey. How complicated was it to get to that point and have the confrontation, the Selena stuff, with a Harvey who could still be whole or Harvey who could be already screwed up?
It kind of took thinking of Harvey as two different people. Like after that point in episode 2, he became like, we have undamaged Harvey, we have damaged Harvey, and we have to treat them as two separate characters. Like damaged Harvey has kind of all the stuff that he talks about where his face is messed up, he's losing confidence, kind of blaming himself for what happened to him. The one who got saved by Batman has a much deeper connection to Batman, but because of it feels like, he wasn't able to save himself. He needed someone else to come in, so he's feeling paranoid. Like the Children of Arkham are still out to get him. So we kind of wrote them as two separate paths to get to that point.
Wow.
And then we figured when he sees Bruce in his underwear in Selena's apartment, like that's going to make him snap a little bit no matter what. But we'll see where he goes in later episodes too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still feel so bad for Harvey. Like he breaks my heart. Like even just like knowing we had to take him there, just seeing it happen. He's such a nice guy. He's a teddy bear.
I'm sorry your job's so tough.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know it was hitting you this hard.
No.
But no, that's the
I
thing
love
for me
Harvey.
with my alternate reality Harvey that isn't Two-Face, but now after this is already showing the signs of it. I can't wait again for episode 4, episode 5 to see how it will, for my Harvey, turn into that, or if it will or if it won't. Because you guys like to torture us and do things. Yeah. So now, let's talk about you though. Because we talked about the switch being thrown.
Yeah.
And so episode 4 is going to pick up with you in charge of Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah.
Being now, because I think when it gets set up and when Penguin starts coming around, I thought of him more as he's going to be up against Batman in terms of being straight up Penguin. Whereas now it seems like it's almost a switch role where Batman is now the one who's going to be operating full time, and instead you have to try to play being Bruce Wayne instead of that. Hide your alter ego now is this one that's the public facing Bruce Wayne-y kind of thing.
It drops you into the complicated reality of what it's like to be Batman on the other side.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, oh, I don't just get to be Batman all the time. I now have to deal with the consequences of a life as Bruce Wayne. I mean, and that sort of idea of equal weight, often gets lost, that Bruce Wayne often gets sort of short shrift, in a lot of the stories told about Batman. But in the Telltale game, you have to wear the mask and you have to not wear the mask.
Batman Unmasked.
Yeah, right? Oh, there's a little plug. But and you can't escape that. It's inescapable. And that when all of a sudden you realize you're no longer in charge of your company and you no longer have that wonderful asset and that thing that you depended on, what do you do? What happens? There is some great stuff that happens that I'm not even going to talk about.
Well, we have a clip.
No, you don't.
Yeah, from the next episode.
Shut up.
Of you, Cobblepot, dealing with the Batman.
Yeah.
Would you like to see it?
I would.
Crowd, would you like to see it?
Yeah, you want to see it? Want to see Pangy? Let's do it.
Useless, you're all bloody useless! Hey, it's the Bat. You're a dead man! Well, if it ain't the biggest bleeding pleasure to see your sour mug again.
Gloat while you can, Cobblepot. I'm taking you down.
Yeah? I don't think so. In fact, I think it's you who's gonna get beat by me.
You're outmatched here. Give up.
What? Because of all those fancy gadgets? I like your style, Batman. I really do. But you're really starting to be a pain in the ass. Oh, I see. It helps you plan things out ahead of time. Neat trick, though. Pretty flashy for someone who only wears black.
Hell.
Not just for fashion. It's very functional. Face it, Batman. You're outmatched. Without your tech, you're just a man in a pointy-eared costume. Come on, Batman! Show me what you got.
Oh, wait, here. I'm not supposed to be wearing it now.
You can do whatever you want.
I totally
I
forgot.
bet you have something for Batman. I bet you've planned something out for Batman when you say come at him.
I doubt he's just going, all right, I can take this guy. I doubt that that's the Penguin's MO. Yeah, he's got something up his sleeve, all right.
I'm a big fan of the new monocle, if you will.
Yeah. Where he's like, I love how they're throwing the bits and the pieces in that you know of Penguin and then giving them grounded reasons to be there.
Right.
That it's a piece of stolen tech.
Yeah.
And to turn Batman's own, some of his biggest weapons are now in the hands of the Penguin. I mean, where he's, got the tech. What do you do now with that? And
yeah, that's the exciting thing, I should say, going into this episode and seeing this clip is the fact that, okay, now he has the tech, he has Wayne Enterprises, he has the Children of Arkham. What does that look like to see someone who can match Batman on that scale?
Right, that he's literally sitting out there, come at me, Batman.
Yeah.
And like, whoa, he better be really confident to say that. Batman's like 6 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he is really confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, whenever we bring the voice actors on, Telltale asked me to embarrass you both and have you do like scenes and have you talk.
Whoa.
So what I want to see is Vicky Vale interview Cobblepot.
All right. Like this was his preliminary, like, can you be my henchman?
Yeah, exactly. You're right there. See,
So this is Vicky as Lady Arkham.
She's let down the mask.
Interviewing Oz to come and be her right-hand man.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is the private, behind closed doors meeting. Scene begin.
So, you have a plan for Gotham?
I do. I have this desire to see the truth come out. And I think you might share that with me.
Well, you're a reporter. That's all you want to do, is tell the truth, the truth, the truth.
Yeah.
So, what's in it for me?
Well, I think you might have some investment in this as well.
Like
you know
what?
about Bruce Wayne and his family.
Of course. Bruce and I go back a ways, I guess.
And how do you feel about his family, his parents?
They took everything from me. What are you suggesting? I'll get revenge?
I think that would be quite fun, don't you?
Yeah, it'd be quite fun, but I don't know if you've noticed. You can't throw a rock around Gotham without hitting a window Wayne Enterprises owns. So how do I do that?
Well, what if we could get everyone in Gotham to start telling the truth, whether they wanted to or not?
Now you pull him on, like, telling the truth. We're just going to walk up to him and ask him the hard questions. You're going to flog them to death with the paper.
No, I'm just going to walk up to them and stab them with a needle and inject them with a drug.
You got some kind of drug?
Got plenty of it.
That makes people tell the truth. Oh, that's nice.
So what do you say? Can you be my right-hand man?
Well, I don't know about right hand, but do I like to keep everything that Wayne has when it's over?
It's up to you.
I'll think about it. I'll let you know. Don't go anywhere.
You don't even need to work here.
No, I'm
You
gonna
can
go
just
home.
set them down and they make the
I'm
game.
gonna go on vacation, so bye, everybody.
I am a little bummed we didn't get to record together, even though we don't talk to each other at all of the games.
I was going to say, hopefully, maybe in later episodes, we would get a chance
can
to have a little
interact.
tete-a-tete.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
yeah, it'd be fun.
Please. And I'm still up for the romance between us, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, you know what?
We can have our own little,
Yeah.
scene.
I mean, I'll be...
Batman's just watching at the glass.
Yeah. And I'm wearing Catwoman suit, And she's like, do you want to do that yourself? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
It's all like, it's really sweaty on here. Sorry, it's sticking a bit.
I mean, this thing is stuck onto my skin. I don't know how the hell she wears this thing. This bloody thing is tight. So tight.
Panel, thank you for your time and your excellent work. You guys make a great game. I'm a big fan. And of course, to you, thank you for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Batman Unmasked. Remember, every time Telltale puts out one of these Batman, the Telltale series episodes, we come back with one of these shows where we spoil everything and talk to cool people. If you like that, like their YouTube channel, subscribe to it, all that stuff. If you like me, follow me on Twitter. If you like cats and stuff, donate to like the Humane Society. I think they do stuff. And until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Yeah!